Hello America, it's a blue collar millennial right in front of one of our new commercial buildings that are going to be set up. So this is a little bit smaller project than last time, but I'm still thankful for the work. In today's video, it's called The Biggest Lie in America. Right now, we've all bought into a load of crap. And it's very simple. Make life simpler, make life better. Make life easier, make life better. Work smarter, not harder. Worst advice I've ever heard in my life. But we're peddled this idea in three basic ways: by Washington with rules, regulations, by Madison Avenue with the advertising and the marketing people, and really within our culture itself. And that's real regrettable because, for an entire generation, we've actually raised a bunch of damaged people now that don't realize just what prosperity is and how to achieve it. We're told this idea, for one, on Madison Avenue, that if life was just a little bit easier, if life was just a little bit more pleasant, we would all prosper and be a little bit better off. If you could just leave home a little bit later in the mornings, if you could just get off work a little bit earlier, if you got to wake up just a little bit later, if your meals cook themselves a little bit faster, if you order something online for $19.95, it will solve all the world's problems. I mean, I swear I'm waiting for the day when they say you can cure cancer for ordering the magic box for $19.95. Still has not happened, but they make just about as many outrageous claims on there. But the damage effect of this, too, is the second fold of it, where it's folded. Where every time that we actually see and we portray people that actually prosper in this country, it's laughable and it's disgusting. If there's a master plumber, he's always 300 pounds, he has a massive butt crack. If there's a farmer, it's an old guy with a corncob pipe out there on a rickety old tractor, going back and forth in bib overalls, talking like I do. And not everybody talks like I do, and it is a sign of some and not all intelligence. If it's anybody else out there, on the job site, it's some, junior college dropout that can't, hack it in the real world at an office job, and he's out there with a wife beater and a hammer, and there's nothing sophisticated about what we do. Man, how do I dispel such a load of crap? Well, I'm going to start off right now and just say this. I work with an incredible team of guys. They are paid well, they are well taken care of, and yes, they work a lot of overtime. You look at our parking lot on the job sites on work days, you're going to see a few new vehicles. You're going to see some guys that have some nice houses in the burbs. They got there by working overtime. They got there by putting their nose to the grind and actually achieving the good life and getting there. I got promoted because I was willing to work 60-hour weeks. The old notion that I believe, and if my life has any slogan, it's this. You get by at 40 hours. You get ahead at 50 hours. You prosper at 60 hours. And beyond that, I've put in 95-plus hour weeks before, and there's times, I've only had to put in 20-hour weeks just because, the weather's bad or something else that happened on the job, and, we just have slow weeks. But generally, you have to make stuff happen, and you have to get stuff done. Talk to anybody that's built a successful business, and 99.999% of them are going to say they put in the hours early and late. My family, we've been pretty successful with the grain elevator business, back in central Kansas. And my father still, to this day, almost approaching 60, gets into the elevator, the main elevator, the terminal, the office. He's in there every morning, ready to go to work at 5 a.m. Not rolls out of bed at 5 a.m., not, makes his morning coffee. He is at the office. Boots on, gloves on, ready to go at 5 a.m. Nobody sees that every time. A lot of people never see that. I've had projects, where we roll guys out to get stuff ahead of deadlines. I can roll out, trucks and supply lines for metal, concrete, asphalt, whatever it is. And I've had the trucks rolling at 6 a.m. And it's actually a lot earlier than that. If you actually look at the good hard-working people of our suppliers, both at the ready-mix and asphalt plants, if the trucks are rolling at 6 a.m. and getting loaded, those guys are there an hour and a half to 2 hours earlier, prepping the plants, making sure the conveyors, the mixers, all that stuff works. Guys are doing their pre-checks on their trucks. It's a lot earlier than that, just so that we can get rolling early, so we can put in the hours to get stuff done on time and ahead of schedule. So Madison Avenue has sold us this load of crap that, hey, if you could find a way to be productive and just work 28-hour weeks, you'll get a nice house and an Escalade. You are not affording the good life on 28-hour weeks. It's just not going to happen. The second one, which I can make an entire video about all this, is how I believe that Washington and our state houses, and to a degree a lot of local ordinances, make life harder. I can make an entire video on that, but frankly, with all the rules and regulations and all the barriers that are placed in front of that, I can make a few that I have seen, but frankly, I don't know how deep it goes. I don't know all the problems we have to do. Just as many guys as we have out here working in the field, and working on sites, we have just as many people in the office working on compliance. That's just part of life. I can't even begin to imagine all the barriers we have to jump through, even before the site is ready for somebody like me to come on there and start coordinating different subs. And then finally, the way that we try and relate to people. Now, I'm not a cultural anthropologist, and I really don't know one. But it seems like every 4 years, people come out and they try to relate to us. I still see Hillary with the shots of whiskey with the steelworkers in Pittsburgh dribbling down her chin. I still see Donald Trump out there with the guys at Carrier, talking about, oh, it's a great American product. And no disrespect to those guys that work in those fields, because I have all the respect in the world for y'all. I have very little respect for our elected officials because, let's face it, neither one of those two worked a real job in their life. So, that's my opinion. That's what it is for that. But the way we portray people, it's almost disgusting, And going back to that old thing, you would be amazed how complex plumbing systems are within a commercial building. How you have to get hot water, cold water, how you have to get flow, how you have to sort out sanitary sewer, water line, storm sewer, all that other stuff, piping, slope issues, drainage issues. You don't want to freeze and bust, you don't want to burst, you don't want to regulate pressure, you got to make sure you have enough pressure, not too much pressure. What's the water tower, what's the flow, where's the main line, where's the utility hookup? Master plumbers are not dumb people, and the vast majority of them don't have their butt crack hanging out. Farmers oftentimes spend so much more on equipment. Most John Deere tractors cost more than Lamborghinis. You have a $500,000 piece of machinery with an $80,000 computer hooked up to it. The idea to move grain through grain bins, it's not as simple as dumping a truck and going through there. Whether you use a drag auger, slag auger, fly auger, whatever it is, how you dry it, how you circulate air, how you keep the thing from blowing up, because grain dust will blow up, whether it's corn or wheat. What my father has been able to do through the years and upgrade the systems, it's nothing short of just simply amazing. Now, once I get back to where I say, I don't have a fancy degree in human behavior, and I really don't want one. This is just my opinion based on working in 3 different industries and working on major projects across about 12 different states up until this point. The people that make stuff happen, the people that prosper, we're happy, we're balanced, and we really don't need a handout from anybody else. We really just want our fair shake to go out there and do our work. And that's just about it. And the biggest lie being perpetrated right now is that we don't want to get out there and do it. We do. Bricklayers whistle while they work. I've worked a lot with them. I've seen them do it. They have a good time. Farmers enjoy being out in the middle of a field. Guys that build roads and bridges, they kind of sit around and joke around together. Yes, it is our job, but we enjoy it, and it provides us with prosperity and a good chance to make a good living doing meaningful work. The people that build this country are more balanced and happier than we are portrayed. So, that's the way I feel it. I feel like I need to stick up for my industry. I feel like I need to stick up for my people, what we do, and everything else. Thanks for the response. Subscribe, y'all. I'm going to try and start putting out more videos about how things work on the industries I've been in. Hope for y'all to keep following that. Hope y'all have a great day. God bless.